Okay, so today we're going to talk about tip number 8 of 18 for Plexus success. Tip number 8, self-promotion. If people don't know about you, they can't buy through you. If people don't know about the product that you're carrying and that you're carrying this product, they're not going to be able to get on it. They're not going to be helped by it. So self-promotion is incredibly important. So how in the world am I going to self-promote? Well, first off, if I don't know very many people, this is where relationships come into play. I'm going to keep coming back to this. Relationships. It's very, very important. But beyond immediate relationships, how am I going to self-promote myself out there and start conversation up? Because that's a big part of self-promotion and building those relationships is starting that initial conversation. So here's some just ideas for you. This is going to be a very long video. Just some ideas and tips on different ways to self-promote. Newspaper ads. You can join the Chamber of Commerce. Sample the product samples. Hey, I see that you have a problem with a headache. This product helps. Here, let me give you a sample of it. It makes a difference. Go to a health club. Join a health club. There again, you're putting yourself out there, getting more relationships, things like that. It puts you out there where you have the opportunity to share your product, share your information, self-promote. Facebook, T-shirts. Plexus. You can go on Facebook and look up Plexus Swag 2. There's a bunch of different sites on there. Charmingly Southern. These places all carry T-shirts and stuff. That simple. Like I have one that just says Plexus right across the front. I have one that says Plexus Slim Real Men Drink Pink. I have 3 different Plexus shirts. And what they do is I'm out in public or whatever. I'm also getting one that's going to say, do you suffer from diabetes, arthritis, candida, so on and so forth down the line? Ask me how Plexus can help. Something like that. Just a conversation starter. Just something to break that barrier that people can ask you about something, and you don't have to bring it up. Again, you want them to ask you. That's all part of permission marketing. That gets them to that point where they're going to ask you. So Facebook's important. You can use to self-promote. You should be posting at least once a day. 1 to 4 times a day, probably not more than that. Post at least one thing about what's going on in your life, or just a random post, but at least one to counter whatever Plexus you're posting. Because if you post Plexus, eventually people are just going to lose interest in your page and they won't care. If people, okay, and here's another thing with self-promotion on Facebook and Instagram and all these other places social media that you can self-promote, Twitter. People on there, I've had several friends get on there and say, well, people are so mean to me on Facebook. They say I shouldn't be posting all this stuff. You know what? Plexus now is a part of your life. And if those people do not care enough about you to care about what's going on in your life, whether they're interested in it for themselves or not is immaterial. But if they're not going to be your friend because they're your friend, then they're not your friend in the first place. So don't worry about it. If people are genuinely your friend, they're not going to worry about if you're posting cats, Plexus, dogs. I just drove my bike and wrecked it on the street corner. It doesn't matter. It's just a matter of, I'm going to get out there. I'm going to self-promote. Don't let those people slow you down. Just get out there, self-promote yourself. Business cards, those are all great resources. Car stickers and magnets, huge, huge, huge. If you have a clunker car, don't put magnets and stuff on your car, because then when you post stuff like that, you want people to see that, when you're putting yourself out there, you want people to want what you have. And if you have a clunker, then people are going to be like, well, I don't want what he has. Whatever he's doing isn't working very well. So if you have a nicer car, or you have a mediocre car, with not a significant amount of rust on it, then putting magnets and window shade stuff on there is a great way to start a conversation. People I've had heard of people like yelling at people, "Hey, pull off to the side of the road. I want to ask you about whatever it is you're selling." Makes a huge difference. Just another way to start a conversation, self-promote. So there's just a few ideas for y'all.